It's March 18th, 2021, and today was a red day for me and a very down day. I finished down $3,820, down 7.65%, but I'm going to experience a bounce back in the after hours. So, basically, when you trade a lot of leap options, there is more of a change when the underlying stock changes. So if something's down 2 or 3%, your underlying option may be down 5 or 6%, but it works the other way around too. So if your underlying stock is up 2 or 3%, your option may be up as much as 10% for a leap option or so. But I tend to only really trade leap options or mid-term options. I call short-term options are just too risky. What I do is I sell those. And I'm just going to briefly go over my portfolio today and see what's up. Finvolution Group was up today almost 7%, and that's one of the few stocks that's up. I have a covered call on this, so I'm bringing in, I think when I sold it was like 20% of the premium at the strike price. It's over the cover call now, so that probably will be called away. But let's see what else. SOS, I have that just for the premiums. It was down today. Let me change the view. Today's return. So it was down today. GSAT was down today. NFI was up today. NNVC down. GRPB down. Solo down. Zoomatica down. GTE down. LPCN down. CCIV down. Palantir down. QTT down. Sol down. BNGO down, and Sense down. And all those are stocks. With stocks, I just sell the covered calls. Some of them were, really all of them were more of a short-term play, just trying to bring in premium. But with everything crashing, I'm going to have to hold these a little longer and sell, more covered calls at a higher strike price until they come back up. But with these plays, I tend to look more towards what's hot now. What are people jumping money into, and what's bringing in the most premium, basically. And I started doing that when I first started trading, and now I'm looking towards looking at the charts before I just jump into something with premium. Go on a bar chart and see if they have some type of support in case they do crash, they reach a level and they just don't keep dipping. But that was kind of the learning process. So before, I would go on YouTube, see what everyone was buying, and jump on the hot stock, see if there's premium. So that's kind of that. And I have here are my leap options. I have a long-term play on SOS just in case, being tied to Bitcoin, it runs up. I think one analyst gave a price target of $40. But it's mostly I sell options against that as well. Palantir, I have that long-term. Palantir is an interesting company because they have, I think, partnerships with Amazon now, maybe even Microsoft. They're a big data company, and there's a lot of potential for them. So they basically collect data so they could, the companies can make better decisions and, kind of take the management decisions out of it and use more of a database decision on everything. Pretty much they're endless applications, and I've heard some people say they might become close to $1 trillion company. I don't know if I believe that. Snowflake's the other company that's managing data as well, so that's one of their competitors. A lot of Palantir's clients right now have multi-million-dollar contracts with them. There are a lot of government contracts, so they'll be profitable in the future. Right now, they're bleeding money out if you look at their balance sheets. And that's kind of, when I first saw it, I'm like, why are people getting into this company that just keeps losing money? But then I was learning more about the stock market. Valuations don't have to make sense as long as, they believe that the company has a potential future. So you're buying in at a premium. That's kind of what's happening now. All these companies that people were buying in a premium way above their valuation, sometimes in the case 100 times what they're worth right now, they're going to get erased by this market crash pretty much. But we'll see, because Jerome Powell said that the interest rates weren't going to rise, but the bond market keeps rising. So I don't know what's going to exactly happen, but you might be able to get some good bargains. NIO, I bought because everyone's hot on the electric vehicle cycles. I don't 100% believe that NIO, Tesla, CCIV, and all these other companies are going to be able to overtake the legacy automakers, because they're going to make their own electric vehicles. Like, people keep on forgetting that these companies are already established. They have their own factories. They can get into the technology sector and start development way quicker than some of these other companies. You see Volkswagen, when they decided they want to get into electric vehicle sector, they were able to outsell Tesla relatively quickly. And Ford's going to make electrified Ford F-150s, so I'm kind of bullish on Ford as well. So these valuations that jump NIO to the second or third largest car maker by valuation is kind of ridiculous in my opinion. But people will fight you every single way. And Tesla's valuation, if you look at it, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, people are banging on that this is going to like they're going to think Tesla's going to be an energy company, and maybe they will. Maybe they'll develop the technology, but that's a big bet. That's a lot of risk up front. But people are buying into it, and Kathy Woods, of course, she's the hottest investor right now. She bought into Palantir, big buyer of Tesla and some of these other stocks. So it's always interesting to see what she's buying. IPOE is just a fintech company, is a SPAC that's merging, managed by Chamath Palihapitiya, the master of SPACs. SoFi is the company, and they have a good model, they have a good business. So that one I don't see being a problem in the future. There's a lot of growth there. GSAT, Globastar. I bought this one, I think, as a calendar spread because the options were, really high on the front end. So I was able to get a discount, but it crashed. I think they do something with satellites. I remember probably watching a YouTube video when I first started investing or something. And, it was really cheap at the time. You can see it's down 222, but that was from the way Robinhood does it. I think they do it from your purchase price, not from your calendar spread. So CCIV, of course, Lucid Motors, that's the hot company that's supposed to be the next Tesla. BNGO, Bionanogenomics, that is the company that's in the genomics sector. The genomics sector has tremendous potential to treat diseases, and the CRISPR as well. CRISPR Therapeutics is another company I've looked at. That's the medical field. I'm not an expert in it, but a lot of people are saying that this technology could change the world. So that's one of those companies that has built-in premium based on what they're currently doing now. And pretty much all the pharmaceutical companies and the medical companies have forward-baked premiums based on the drugs they're developing, so they're very volatile. AMD, I like AMD quite a bit. Their technology superior. They passed over NVIDIA. They made Intel look foolish. So they're pretty much graphics cards and chip manufacturer, and under that leadership of that woman, I can't remember her name is. Let me look it up. She was on Jim Cramer the other day. Lisa Su, yeah. When she came in and took over the company, they made a complete turnaround. For a while, they were like the joke of the computing industry, and they just developed superior products now. And the only problem is the chip shortage. So the way this sector works is that they make the designs of chips, and other companies actually do the manufacturing. And that brings me to the point where I was looking at this other stock today, Lam Technologies, I believe it's called. What is it called? Lam Research Corp. There it is. Lam Research Corp. Okay, what Lam Research Corp does is they make the equipment that lays down the layers necessary to make semiconductors and other chips. So they're making the actual physical machines that make semiconductors. So their customers are, the Micron, use the Taiwan Semiconductors that make the chips for AMD and make the chips for Intel. I think Intel was one of their customers as well. So they have exploded over the years. You see their growth over the last year. It's insane. And now they started to consolidate. Now with the chip shortage, their equipment is needed more than ever. And with Biden's plan for America to make more chips, this might be a good stock to invest in. So I'm looking at this. I got this on my watch list now. But anyways, Lemonade's an insurance company. They also kind of in the disruptive sector. And they plan on adding auto insurance. So right now, I should have bought this option. I bought this option a couple of days ago. I sold my Matador position in one of my options to buy this, and I just my timing was bad on it, but it's a long-term hold. Cleveland Cliffs is a materials company that mines iron ore, and with inflation coming up, the price of raw materials is going to spike. So this is a good play for the current situation, but it's been all over the place, but it's been steadily going up over the last week. I think it's down today, or actually the option's up today, right? So they're up today. They were up 0.24%. Well, let me go back. That's what I hate about Robinhood. If you click on there, you can't just go back. And it's been freezing up a lot lately. But let me go back to, where was I? Cleveland Cliffs. VJAC. That is a SPAC to merge 23andMe, which is a company that takes your a DNA sample and maps out your genetics and tells you who you're related to or whatever. It's a genetic mapping company. They're pretty popular. People get their DNA tested and they can tell their family history and their heritage and whatnot. But they're going public via SPAC. So right now it's not doing too well, but in the future it has a lot of potential. Futu is a fintech company. They are like the Robinhood of China. So I bought this option because I was experimenting with those selling options against long-term options and short-term options based on, the volatility of the front-end option and the back-end option. I've got a spreadsheet. I've been tracking it, been making some moves with that. So I'm kind of trying to teach myself a little system I've coming up with myself. I need more data. I need more time to implement it. Of course, Matador, I have one long-term option on Matador. Expires November 19th. They are the oil resource company that has skyrocketed lately, but they are down today because oil's down, but they're a good oil play. Venture is a materials company. It was one of the potential, one of those plays where they have some type of technology. I think I watched a YouTube video. I bought that earlier when I wasn't necessarily doing more due diligence than I'm in now. PDAC is another SPAC. They have a materials company they're merging with. It looks promising. I think it's a plastics company. Ford I'm really bullish on because of the electric vehicles, the electric Ford F-150. Unfortunately, I saw something in the news today about how they're making trucks now. Okay, there it is, right? Chip shortage forces Ford to build trucks without computers. So, like I said, the chip shortage of Lam Research Group would be a company that would help produce the equipment to build more conductors, and Biden's push for them to become to America. They're an American company, so they would sell to Americans that will start making their own, chips and whatnot. But let's look, while we're here, just look at other news. Oil was down big today. It looks like when it opens up tomorrow, it'll be slightly up. Gold's down. Let's see what else on my portfolio. CRNT. They are a 5G company, small company with a lot of potential. I'm not gonna say much more. SOS. I just bought that to sell options against it. Honestly, I'm getting about. I took the time each week. I think it was. I calculated how many weeks there is between the time this expires and the current date, and then I divide that by the price I paid, and I try to get 2 to 3 times that selling the option. So I don't really care what this is doing. Farmland Partners, this was up really big until today. I think they had an earnings call. They dropped 12.5%, but my option was up, still up 88%. You know, you can see it lost 45% today. But this is a real estate company that sells farmland, basically. I figure in this environment they would go up. So we'll see. It's kind of a midterm longer. DNN, that was something stupid I did when I was a little experiment I tried out. Also, this was down last week when their earnings weren't as great. Alto is basically they make ethanol, and corn prices were higher and ethanol was creeping up. So when I was looking into futures and correlating with that stock market, this was at one point, I rolled this option over, so this was up $1,000. So I took a little bit of profit when I rolled it up to the next month, but this particular option dropped because, you know, the bad earnings call. So I actually made a little bit of money on the overall, but I think it's gonna bounce back. It plummeted too much, so it's due for a bounce back. I'm not sure how I'm gonna play it. Riot, this was just an option selling experiment. Skills, I put this in as a calendar spread. I didn't think they would reach the $40 call, so it's kind of discounting when this expires. I think it can reach over $40 by the time this expires, but I'll probably roll this back and buy more time and hold this long term. Gush, that's killed me today because that was my oil play when oil was running up. Oil prices are down today. If we look at the futures market overview, let's see the news, if there's a news tab in here. But anyways, oil was down big time. If we go to the energies, okay, it looks like the new day has started on the futures, but yeah, they were down earlier by like a whole bunch. So that's leveraged into the futures oil market. But oil, see, I've got a 9/17 expiration date. Oil is going to stay basically the same. I mean, they say that America has stockpiles built up and there was some tension going on with some countries, so that's kind of why it dropped. But with everything reopening and the demand for oil, it's at least going to stay level. I don't think it's going to drop dramatically. I think it was in Europe, they said that there was more COVID cases, so if that's true, it might drop. I don't know, I might have to exit this early with a loss. We'll see. We'll take it day by day. And the rest are just pretty much just selling options. They're just sales against my options I'm currently holding. Except Zedge, that was a calendar spread as well. And this company is a mobile app company that has pretty much doubled their sales every quarter. So that might actually be a long-term play. Yeah, besides that, that's kind of my portfolio I have going on right now. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do long-term or how I'm going to play this dip. So what I do is I put together watch lists based on my portfolio. Here's the chart of the day. So Bar Chart has a free chart of the day that gives you momentum plays. So I just kind of every day add their chart of the day, and all these are stocks that have performed really well over the last couple of months. They're high momentum stocks As we can see, most of them are down. See, Viacom is up, so that if you want to play the momentum short term, Viacom would be a good one. I could show you the chart right now. Let me pull up the candlestick charts so you can see the straight up movement. But then it peaked and it looks like it's going sideways, but there was a lot of volume here, so it could potentially go higher just based on looking at the moving averages start to separate on each other. So it still might have some momentum. And of course, there's other bank companies that might be good to play. You could always look at the performance. So over the last month, Viacom, Alliance Data System, Titan, Origin Bank, Sally Beauty Holdings, all these companies have done really well, and that's kind of what the chart of the day is. So kind of try to find something that's up year to date, 1 month, 3 months. They got this thing called weighted alpha that takes into account more recent gains, but it has all the gains in 52 weeks, as you see. Copen, because it has 4,000% gain, but it hasn't really done well in the last month, so this is on a downtrend. You can see from this. I also have the full watch list. These are all the picks I get from the newsletter, from the Motley Fool. They are good at picking, less, I guess, risky, more developed companies that still have room to grow. They are not as speculative as what you would see on YouTube. So for longer term holds, they might be a good resource. And like I said, Lamb Research was one of their picks today, and it was really interesting, the write-up they had on them as, semiconductor play. And, long term, yeah, they might be a really, really good company to own if it's true that, United States will try to manufacture some of their own semiconductors or whatever. But yeah, I added Roblox in there myself because I have that on my radar. But Fiverr would have been good to get in today. I get paid tomorrow, so I don't think I have enough for Fiverr. I might have to hold off a week, but this would have been a good time to enter because they are down big today. But I'm kind of still pissed about buying Lemonade and then go down 10%. Airbnb was the other one I was looking to enter. It just depends on how much money I have. Next Monday I'll be able to sell options on against the stock I'm holding, and to make it easier to see, because Robinhood's so hard to see, I just put my portfolio on this. These are my leap options. I gotta update this list, but you can see almost everything's down. Oh yeah, I'll talk about this. This is an elite option. It's just on having my other portfolio, Break Wave Drive Shipping ETF, and another one is Navos Maritime Containers. I used to have that option. I wish I kept it because I sold it around $8. It's already up to 10. Shipping is going up. I don't know why, but any company with shipping, that's where the bull market is right now. I've got Breakwave Drive Shipping in my other account, in my Charles Schwab account, just to take advantage, because it seems like the days that are red in the tech sector, the shipping companies are always going up. So this is on a ridiculous bull run right now. Let me show you. Yeah, it's just been going up, and look at the volume. That's a little bit of a bearish sign when you have a high volume but you have a red candlestick, but we'll see. Keep an eye on it. Like I said, over here I had a high volume but red, and then it fell, but then it ran back up, so it might fall and then run back up again, who knows. But yeah, anything in shipping. I know Castor Maritime is a favorite among YouTubers. So besides that, I go my covered calls watch list from my Robinhood account. I could look through them. Finvolution Group and NFIE were the only two companies up, and I just have other companies I consider buying. I put them in the list. Him and Hers Health is up. Johnson Controls is a battery company. I was kind of I think they even sold out of their battery company. I'm not sure what they did, but I was using that as kind of a way to see how battery sales would compare with Tesla's valuation. And it was weird because the top battery companies valuation, the top regular auto manufacturers battery valuation, and one of the top solar valuations all didn't add up to Tesla's valuation, which is the premium you're paying for them, because that's the three sectors of the company: batteries, cars, and solar. So yeah, I'm kind of trying to understand. Like, they're saying that the self-driving cars, the robo taxis, is what's gonna really put them ahead, but I just don't believe it, because Uber had a self-driving program they abandoned because they killed someone. As soon as Tesla's cars kill someone, that's gonna be a big step back. It's good for the technology push, but as an investor, I mean, growing into the valuation it has, it's a little crazy, but I don't know. I'm relatively new to this, so I'm trying to learn technical versus fundamental versus future valuation. It's kind of insane to me seeing how some of these things go, but I'm kind of starting to understand it a little bit better. And one last thing before I get off here, I just wanted to see what was up today, what was the sectors up today. So I just go to ETS by asset class, and it kind of gives you an idea of what's up today. So I like to go to the change. Microsectors, the shorting oil, of course, that's going to be up. Semiconductor bear, that's going to be up. These are all negative shorts. Triple short, triple short, triple short. So let's get to something positive. Let's remove all these shorts and see where that returns on only bullish positions. So top veteran employers ETF, big banks. Okay, so that'd be like your Wells Fargo and stuff. Oh, micro sectors, 3X US big banks, ETN. So banks are up. Like I said, shipping's up. Lending and crowdfunding, which is an interest rates. See here. I don't even know what Catholic values. I don't even know what's in there. Banks, financial, banks, Japan, banks. So the banking sector is up, basically, is what this is telling me. And of course the shipping sector as well. Banks. So as across the board, you see banks as a sector. And I'll check one more area I like to check to see what's going on. The industry rankings. Or no, the heat map, actually. That gives you a better picture. And you could just go to one day to see what happened today. So machinery, general industry, movie, TV, and banks, water supply, utilities. So I'll take a look at those. Here's the water supply, utilities. Pure Cycle Corp. Here is the banks. What banks are up big today? U.S. Bank Corp. Yeah, that one was one of the ones that's been kind of hot lately. Go to performance. I like to go over the last month. Bank United, Fifth Third Bank, Citigroup, they're all up big over the last month. So that might be something to consider to bounce out my portfolio. And then TV production. Viacom's been up big. News stocks. And machinery. That was another one that was up big. I don't know why they said that was up big. It doesn't look like any of these stocks are up huge. It might be calculated from a day ago, or I don't know why this sets up 522, 52-week high. But yeah, that's kind of odd to me. But you can see the news and stuff, or maybe because the ones up top have a higher weight. That's what I'm guessing. But yeah, banks are the bull market right now. Tech is down. This weekend I'll take a look at my portfolio. One of the other things I'm considering are more option plays, not bullish, not necessarily bearish, but neutral strategies, like iron condors and butterfly option strategies. If the market goes to more of a neutral position right now, there's no telling, it's all over the place. I'll make adjustments on the red days. I just need to set money aside. I just want to get into some of these plays while they're cheap. Hopefully it can just trade sideways for the day before going back up. I'll see how much money I have available tomorrow and on Monday, and kind of make my decision of what I want to buy long term, or if I just want to average down some existing positions. But I was looking at, like I said, Fiverr. Now this Lam Research Group looks interesting to me. AMD, and maybe just average down some of the positions I have, or put some money into that dry bulk shipping or one of those companies, or a bank company, to kind of keep me from, drawing down too much on a single day. But this has already started to bounce back. I also have some of the stocks on my watch list at vesting.com. If we look at Robinhood, my Robinhood portfolio, they're not all in here. I need to update this as well. But you could look at the extended hours percentage. So you see tomorrow everything's going to bounce back, it looks like. So we'll just see if this continues tomorrow, if we prepare for the pain, or if this was just a one-day sell-off in response to what's going on in the news. But Ford, that's bad news for them. Yeah, the chip shortage is bad, and the interest rate increasing is bad as well. But that's all I have for today. Maybe this weekend I'll go over my trade plan for each of my positions.